Let's talk about the best clones for Tom Ford's Oud Wood. Now, Oud Wood has been part of the fragrance game for the longest time. It was one of the original which were released with the Tom Ford Private Blend. And most people, when they think about Tom Ford, they're either thinking about Tobacco Vanille or Tuscan Leather or Oud Wood. The thing with Oud Wood is that it is this fragrance which is very classy, it's very upscale, it's inoffensive. It's such a fragrance which, when you're thinking about it, you're like, yeah, this is probably on everyone's list because of how good this fragrance is. The irony of this fragrance is that it's a fragrance that has mostly wood, sandalwood, rosewood, but I barely get any actual oud in it. By and large, this is a good thing because people do find oud to be a very strong scent. In the West, people generally gravitate towards scents that have some oud in it as a backbone, but not as a main player in a fragrance. So if you think about Royal Oud or Oud Wood, when you think of those fragrances, oud plays a secondary role as opposed to a primary one. So what makes Oud Wood so unique and so special? Because generally it's not a combination of rose and oud. So this is a fragrance which is rosewood, sandalwood, cardamom, amber in the dry down. It's such a magnificent composition. Many people have this fragrance, have Oud Wood in their collection because of how appealing this fragrance actually is. When you smell Oud Wood, it has this excellent composition of the woods and the sweetness, and they are equally balanced. One of them never outdoes the other one, and it's just, most people when they're wearing this, there's a aura of class, of sophistication, of a little bit of refinement. All of this is the feeling that you get when you wear Oud Wood, which really brings us to the question of the purpose of this video, or why would you even think about getting a clone of Oud Wood? Now, my history with Oud Wood is that I used to have, back in the day when they released it, it came in this gold bottle. It's the gold-plated bottle, and I went through that bottle because of how much I really enjoyed that fragrance. Now, unbeknownst to me is that they would re-release Oud Wood, and it would be a fragrance which would be a shadow of its former self, because when you think about the gold bottle on its own, it had great longevity, but even then, I would say maybe 6 to 7 hours, but the projection was quite modest. So I could live with the longevity even if the projection was subpar. So when they re-released it, for me, it went from a top-tier fragrance to a sub-tier fragrance because the longevity wasn't there and the projection wasn't there. So you get only about 3 to 4 hours. Now, if you're going to buy a 50 ml, it'll run you about $250 for a 50 ml. For me, it's not value for money to buy a fragrance that I'm spending a premium amount for a fragrance that doesn't last and doesn't project and doesn't perform on me. And obviously you don't always need a fragrance which is going to fill the room, but it is nice to have a fragrance that does last and does project, that you can actually smell yourself when you're wearing it. So I started looking at alternatives and trying out different fragrances that smelled like Oud Wood. Many people have recommended or suggested Versace's Oud Noir to be a good substitute for Oud Wood, and I tried that fragrance. Someone gifted me that bottle. Unfortunately, that fragrance didn't last on me either, so I was getting 4 to 5 hours as well, which and it wasn't projecting, so I wasn't actually satisfied with it. And then I started looking into clone houses. So after the research and looking for a fragrance that would be similar, I wanted to share with you my findings of 2 fragrances which I think are very good alternatives to Oud Wood, especially the gold label, because they do perform, they do have excellent projection and excellent longevity. The sillage is there. It's an excellent substitute, in my opinion, to Oud Wood. The first alternative that I'll suggest to you is from the house of Alt Fragrances. And they have a fragrance which is an inspiration of oud wood, and it is called Agar Gold Number 2. Alt Fragrances is a company out of the US. They make a number of inspirations, quite good ones. I've tried a couple, but this is the one that I would recommend from their house, Agar Gold Number 2. It is very close to oud wood. I would say that this is a fragrance that you would be getting decent projection and average longevity. So I'm talking about 3 to 4, maybe 2.5, 3 hours of projection and 6 to 7 hours of longevity with 4 to 5 sprays, because it does last on your skin and it does capture the scent of oud wood. Okay, so the second inspiration that I would like to recommend, I think honestly they knocked it out of the ballpark. They did an amazing job with their inspiration of oud wood, even in terms of the color of the juice. I'll show it to you. It's this golden amber color, and this fragrance, before I show it to you, lasts the entire, I would say, like 8 to 9 hours. Very good projection, and I honestly, it triggers those memories of when I used to have the gold label oud wood. So for me, this is an amazing inspiration. This is from the company called ZOHA Aroma out of Canada, and this is the bottle. It's called Agar Précieux. And just to give credit where credit is due, I really enjoy how the bottle looks. I like the simplicity that they have. I like the simplicity of their bottles. It's just their title, ZOHA Aroma, and then the name of the fragrance in the front. But then on the side, you have the notes listed. So this one has agar wood, rosewood, pepper, sandalwood, amber, cardamom, and vanilla. And it comes in those. The sprayer is excellent, very good mist, if you can see that. And just overall, this is an excellent inspiration of oud wood. I find that this fragrance is more full, it's more opulent, it's more robust. It's more polished, it's deeper and richer than any other alternative that I have found for oud wood. And dare I say, I'm going to get some flack for this, is that I do like this version of, I like Agar Précieux more than I like, obviously, the silver version of the current formulation of oud wood, the silver version. Just because I find this fragrance to be the ingredients so much deeper and richer, and it smells like luxury. It smells very refined, very regal. And you know, in terms of performance, excellent performance. In terms of longevity, sillage, I get tons of compliments when I wear this. It's an excellent substitute for the gold label of oud wood. The last thing I want to mention to you is that they come in 15 mils and 50 ml bottles. They have a number of fragrances. Check them out. I highly recommend ZOHA Aroma. I have several of their scents. And you know, I think they really do focus. I mean, I've purchased all my bottles. I really do think that they have a small catalog, but whatever they do have is extremely good quality. So, you know, they might not have a massive catalog of fragrances in terms of their eau de parfum, in terms of their sprays, but whatever they do have, I think they've done a really good job in terms of pinpointing exactly what they want from that fragrance, listened to their customers, and applied it in a way that, you know, everyone is happy with the final product. And if you are enjoying this content, a sub would be magical. The last thing I want to say is that if you have oud wood in your collection, what do you think about it? What do you think about oud wood now? Or if you had it before, have you tried anything from any of the other houses? Are there other fragrances out there that are similar to oud wood? Do you like something from Tom Ford which they reformulated and you're not happy about now? I'm always intrigued to hear what everyone else is wearing, so please comment below and I'll catch you on the next one.